Hi everyone, Andrea from And Beyond and andbeyondimprov.com here to talk with you a little bit today about something that really breaks my heart. And that is the thousands of people that are struggling with feelings of hopelessness and just feeling stuck and miserable in a job that's not fulfilling to them, but they're showing up day in and day out anyway because they're feeling like this is the best that it can be and this is the best that I can do. I want to introduce to you today a concept called professional trauma and tell you a little bit about what it means, how to identify it, and how to begin overcoming it so that you can start claiming more peace and freedom in your life right now, even in the middle of a job that's making you feel miserable and making you feel like you hate your life. As always, we're going to be using improv as a lens to understand and explore this concept. To be fully transparent, professional trauma is not something that you could look up and find in the DSM. It's not something that's an official medical diagnosis or even a medical term as far as I know. Professional trauma is a term I started using earlier this year to describe those deeply soul-sucking experiences that happen throughout the life of our professional experience that are formative and that start creating limiting beliefs in our minds about what we can do and be and have. Now, the thing is that professional trauma is kind of sneaky because we don't always experience the things that are traumatic in the long run as trauma when they're happening. Maybe you've been showing up day in and day out at a job that is deeply stressful to you, where you don't feel seen, heard, appreciated, where you may not even feel emotionally safe. And the thing is that over time, that deep stress is eroding our emotional reserve. It's eroding our worthiness. And in time, it will start eroding your vision for what's possible for the future. What I love about improv is that since everything is made up and there is no script, you get to play any character you want. You get to be anything you want to be in improv. If your imagination can think of it, you can find the courage to experiment and just try something new and be whoever you want to be. And the thing that really breaks my heart about professional trauma is that it makes us forget that the same thing is true in life. Life is all made up. Nobody has a script. We are all co-creating this experience that we're having on this planet. And the thing is, just like in improv, you can't control everything that happens in the show. But as an improviser, you are equally culpable for creating whatever the experience is going to be going forward. The onus is on every improviser to stay committed to this present moment and be exploring what's happening through a lens of curiosity instead of judgment to figure out, okay, how do we work with this? Is it time to edit this scene, which means end this scene so we can meet some new characters and figure something else out? But the job is yours as an improviser to decide what kind of experience do you want to have. If we use the show equals life analogy, then let's start thinking about what serves the show, what serves the story of your life. Part of creating the type of story, the type of show, the type of life that you want to have is being really deliberate about who your scene partners are. So this is where I want to pause and talk about two resources that I want to reframe a little bit. So my background is in social work, and I remember learning about suicide prevention lines, crisis hotlines, that type of thing, and there being sort of like an eye roll in the room when these types of resources would get mentioned. And I think it's because it's really hard to ask for help, and I think it's because nobody wants to identify as, needing help or being depressed. Those words feel overwhelming to think about or to identify with. Well, first of all, I want to say that, let's all be a part of not adding to the stigma about taking advantage of the resources that are here to help us. But the second thing is, I kind of think about it a little bit differently. If we are co-creating our experience on this planet, let's be deliberate about who our scene partners are. Think about these resources as you being deliberate about choosing scene partners that are helping give you resources to create the life that you want to have. So if you're feeling really stuck and you are noticing that you are crying before work and you are feeling really miserable and slowly the darkness is kind of creeping in and really putting you in a dark place that you might describe as depression, maybe you're having some suicidal thoughts, I just want to stop and hold space for the fact that that happens to a lot of people. You are not alone, and there's two resources I want to tell you about. One is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and the website and phone number are in the description below this video. The second is called Hopeline, and they actually provide text services as well. You can also find the website and the phone number for that service in the description below this video as well. So the next thing I really want to take a deep dive into is this improv skill of choosing curiosity over judgment. So this is an absolutely foundational skill for making improv work in a show. And it's also a really foundational, really helpful skill for unlearning and rewiring your brain to stop thinking about just your fear narrative and start thinking about what is it that you really want. So the thing about professional trauma is that there's all these limiting beliefs whispering lies in our ear about what we can be and do and have. And so if you're having trouble knowing what might these limiting beliefs be for me, these are anything at all that is a roadblock in between who you are now, what's happening in your life now, and what you want, what would really honor you, what would really serve you. So anything that's making you feel like that's not possible throughout the entire length of your professional story, from your very first impulses towards entrepreneurship or your very first impulses towards a career path of some kind, and how things are right now. It may not be your most toxic boss or work environment. It could be anything at all that was said from a family member that just became your norm, just became this bedrock truth that you've maybe never thought of poking at and figuring out, is this serving me? So what we want to do is kind of unlearn and rewire our brain so that we're not catering to that fear narrative, or we're not catering to those limiting beliefs. And instead, we're replacing those thoughts and those beliefs with things that serve us and help us get closer to the type of life that we want to have. So one of the things, one of the tools that I like to offer people, I've done this myself, is, to start thinking, what are the things that I'm telling myself this is the reason why? These are all the logistics for why I can't quit my job, or why I can't start a business, or why I can't, whatever it is that you want, why I can't shift gears professionally. Start making a list of those things. For me, they were, we have student loans, I'm putting my husband back through school, what about health insurance? Instead of thinking about those as immovable objects, start thinking about those as a to-do list. These are the things that I would need to know were true in order for this to happen. That simple reframe can help you realize that I really am a co-creator of my experience. I'm not stuck here forever. I'm just, looking for opportunities to check these things off of my to-do list. Okay, so now you have a general understanding of the concept of professional trauma and a high-level overview of how to identify limiting beliefs and how to just get started with unlearning and rewiring. But if you're ready to go even deeper on this concept of identifying your own limiting beliefs and really doing the work of getting on a professional path that serves you, check out the link that's in the description of this video, and this will give you all kinds of information about our upcoming Mindful Improv events. We've really gone to a lot of effort to offer skill building in 2 key areas that we've noticed are especially helpful for helping people create more peace and freedom in their lives right now. And those are forgiveness and confrontation. So we have a bunch of work that we do around mindful improv for building skill in that area. The other thing is subscribe to our newsletter. We also go to a lot of effort to make sure that the primary focus is always on offering, we call it weekly notes of mindful improv encouragement. So the primary focus of these weekly updates is to give you content that is meaningful, inspiring, encouraging, uplifting, etc., all based on mindful improv. And then, of course, we also want to keep you up to date on any events we have coming up, webinars, any online programs we have, and then sometimes we also do special offers for our career transition coaching programs. We want to keep you informed about that as well. So how do you identify with the concept of professional trauma? I'd love to hear from you in the comments section if you have any thoughts or experiences that you're willing to share, and I'll get back to each one personally. Make sure that you check out the link below to see if there's any mindful improv events coming up that you're able to attend, and do subscribe to our newsletter. We'd love to be a part of encouraging you on your professional story, no matter where you're at right now, with these weekly notes of mindful improv encouragement. And then also, and I'm so serious about this, if you are in a place where you are feeling a lot of darkness and where you're feeling hopeless and like you hate your life or you just hate your job and you're feeling really miserable, please do check out the resources that I mentioned earlier. The links to both websites and phone numbers are in the description of this video. And please, guys, let's be a part of reframing what it is to ask for help, and let's realize that we are absolutely surrounded by resources to help us get where we want to be in our lives. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful, then I hope that you'll like it and subscribe to our channel so I know to make more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!